Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mind-boggling stories in American numismatics. A story that could completely change the way you look at the pennies in your pocket. A story about the 1944 D-Mint Mark 1 cent USA wheat coin, a coin that, despite its ordinary appearance, has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide and is now valued at an astonishing $25 million due to its rare errors and mistakes. And let me tell you, this is not just any coin, this is a coin with a story so remarkable that it has become a legend among collectors, investors, and history buffs alike, starting with the incredible context of its creation. During the final years of World War II, the United States Mint faced tremendous pressure to produce enough coinage for a nation in wartime, and in 1944, the planchets, which are the blank discs of metal that are eventually stamped into coins, were supposed to be made from recycled wartime steel or pre-war copper to meet the surging demand for pennies. But due to an incredible series of human errors, some of these coins were struck on the wrong planchets. In this case, some 1944 D pennies were accidentally struck on leftover 1943 steel planchets, creating a coin that is physically indistinguishable from a normal 1944 penny to the casual eye but fundamentally different to the trained numismatic eye. And these accidental strikes resulted in the infamous 1944 D steel penny. A coin that is one of the most sought-after mistakes in U.S. coin history. Adding to the intrigue is the mint mark itself. The D stands for the Denver Mint, and Denver had its own unique production quirks, which means the coins produced there often had subtle variations in the alignment, the depth of the strike, and the details of Lincoln's bust and the wheat ears on the reverse. And when you combine those factors with a planchet error, you end up with a coin that is not only rare but also uniquely identifiable. Collectors obsess over these details, because they are the difference between a coin worth a few $1,000s and a coin worth millions. The 1944 D wheat penny also occasionally exhibits another type of error that further enhances its value, known as a doubled die, which occurs when the die that stamps the coin has a misalignment, or a shift during the striking process, resulting in doubled images on the coin, often noticeable on the date or the lettering. This type of error is highly prized because it is a result of the mechanical process itself, not just a mistake in the planchet. And when you have a 1944 D penny with both a planchet anomaly and a doubled die, you have a collector's dream, a coin that could be considered the holy grail of mid-20th century American pennies. And while the idea of a penny being worth millions may seem absurd, it is a testament to the combination of rarity, historical context, and human error, because each coin tells a story. The 1944 D wheat penny is not just a piece of metal, it is a tangible connection to the past, to the economic pressures of wartime America, to the thousands of workers at the Denver Mint who handled these coins every day, and to the complex process of coin production where even the smallest mistake can create something incredibly valuable, beyond the minting errors themselves. The market for such coins is influenced heavily by grading, which is the process of assessing the coin's condition, and, in the world of high-end numismatics, the difference between a coin graded MS-65 and MS-67 can translate to millions of dollars. Collectors scrutinize the coin's luster, the sharpness of the wheat ears, the clarity of Lincoln's profile, and even the tiniest scratches or discoloration can make or break a coin's value. It is not uncommon for serious collectors to hire professional grading services to certify the authenticity and grade of a coin, because with such high stakes, the risk of counterfeit or altered coins is real, and in the case of the 1944 D wheat penny, every verified example sold at auction adds another layer of historical validation, reinforcing the coin's legendary status. And speaking of auctions, this coin has repeatedly broken records, selling for astronomical sums in high-profile numismatic auctions, often capturing the attention of mainstream media and bringing new collectors into the hobby. Part of what drives its value is the story itself, the narrative of a coin that should have been ordinary but due to human error became a multimillion-dollar treasure. This narrative resonates with people because it blends history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine finding such a coin in a roll of pennies at a local bank, or in a drawer at home. The excitement and disbelief are part of what makes coin collecting so addictive. The 1944 Wheat penny also serves as a fascinating example of how minting mistakes can turn into cultural icons, much like misprinted stamps, misaligned baseball cards, or error banknotes. Collectors are drawn not just to the monetary value but to the uniqueness and the story behind each error, and the scarcity of the coin is another crucial factor. Only a handful of these error coins exist, verified and documented by the American Numismatic Association and other leading experts. Which means that every single specimen becomes a critical piece of a very small puzzle, adding urgency and competition among collectors and investors alike. The provenance of each coin, meaning its ownership history, also plays a significant role in valuation. Coins with documented histories, especially those that have been part of prestigious collections, often fetch higher prices because buyers can trust the legitimacy of the coin, beyond just the numbers on the scale or the metal composition. The 1944 Wheat penny represents a perfect storm of historical context, mechanical accident, rarity, condition, and narrative, all of which converge to create a numismatic masterpiece. And while the $25 million figure might seem staggering, it reflects not only the intrinsic rarity and error significance but also the extraordinary demand among high-end collectors and investors looking to diversify their portfolios with tangible, historically significant assets. And it's worth noting that the market for coins like the 1944 Wheat penny is global, with collectors from the United States, Europe, and Asia competing fiercely for every known example, driving prices higher and cementing the coin's status as one of the ultimate symbols of numismatic luck and historical intrigue. Moreover, the coin offers a fascinating glimpse into minting practices of the mid-20th century, illustrating how wartime pressures, material shortages, and human oversight combined to create anomalies that were never intended but have become priceless artifacts. The 1944 penny also demonstrates the role of chance in wealth accumulation, because, while millions of pennies were minted that year, only a minuscule fraction were struck on the wrong planchets and survived in collectible condition, highlighting the delicate balance between production volume, survival rate, and collector interest that defines the value of rare coins. And as a final point, it is important to recognize the educational and inspirational aspects of the 1944 Wheat penny. Not only does it serve as a cautionary tale about the potential of overlooked objects to carry immense value, but it also ignites curiosity about history, metallurgy, economics, and the meticulous craft of coin collecting. Every collector who holds such a coin is holding a tangible piece of American history, a testament to the ingenuity and imperfections of human endeavor, and a symbol of how even the smallest errors can lead to extraordinary outcomes. So whether you are a seasoned numismatist, a casual hobbyist, or simply someone intrigued by the idea that a simple penny could be worth more than most homes, the 1944 mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin remains a shining example of rarity, error, and astronomical value. And as you continue exploring the world of coin collecting, keep your eyes open, because hidden in plain sight could be the next 1944 penny, waiting to turn an ordinary moment into a historic fortune. The fascinating journey of this coin reminds us that sometimes, history, luck, and human error combine to create treasures beyond imagination, and that is why collectors around the world are willing to pay millions for a coin that, at first glance, appears to be a simple piece of copper, but in reality, is a key to a story, a mystery, and a potential fortune. Truly, the 1944 Wheat penny is not just a coin, it is a legend, a symbol of the unpredictable nature of collecting, the allure of rarity, and the remarkable stories that lie hidden in the everyday objects we often take for granted. And every time someone discovers one of these coins, it reignites excitement, competition, and fascination, keeping the legend alive for future generations to marvel at, study, and maybe even own. And in the end, that is the magic of the 1944 mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin, a coin that turned a simple error into a $25 million legend, a coin that continues to captivate collectors and treasure hunters around the world, proving that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the greatest secrets, the greatest value, and the most incredible stories waiting to be told. Next, 1930 mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, investors, and historians alike, and is now valued at an astonishing $22 million due to its rarity, unique errors, and historical significance. And this is not just a story about a simple penny, it is a story about history, scarcity, human error, and the kind of luck that can turn an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Starting with the historical context, the 1930s were a challenging time for the United States. The nation was in the depths of the Great Depression, a period marked by economic hardship, bank failures, unemployment, and scarcity of resources. Yet the United States Mint continued its mission to produce coinage for everyday transactions, and during this time, pennies were struck in massive numbers, primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, but the Denver Mint, represented by the D Mint mark, also played a crucial role in supplying coins to the Western United States, and it is at the Denver Mint that our story of rarity begins. The 1930 D Wheat Penny is rare for multiple reasons. First and foremost is its extremely low mintage. Only a very small number of these coins were produced, which immediately sets it apart from other pennies of the era. Scarcity is always a driving factor in coin valuation, and the 1930 D penny takes that concept to an extreme. But scarcity alone does not account for the multi-million-dollar value of this coin. It is also the specific errors and unique characteristics that make it extraordinarily desirable. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1930 D penny is the variety of minting errors that can occur, such as double die errors, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes. Each of these errors makes a coin more unique, more collectible, and significantly more valuable. For instance, a double die occurs when the coin die used to strike the coin has a misalignment, creating doubled images of the date or lettering, and when such an error is present on a 1930 D penny, it can elevate its value dramatically, because collectors prize these anomalies for their uniqueness and the story they tell about the minting process of the time. Another fascinating factor contributing to the value of the 1930 D penny is the planchet composition and quality. During the Great Depression, the Mint sometimes used planchets with slight variations in copper content, thickness, or hardness, and these subtle differences can create variations in luster, weight, and color, making certain specimens more desirable than others. Coins with exceptional strike quality, strong details on Lincoln's profile, and crisp wheat ears on the reverse are particularly sought after by serious collectors, and when combined with a rare mint mark like the Denver D, the value skyrockets beyond the errors and scarcity. The historical significance of the 1930 D penny adds an emotional and cultural dimension that cannot be ignored. Each coin is a tangible connection to a time of struggle and resilience in American history. It represents the ingenuity and perseverance of the United States Mint during the Great Depression, a period when every coin mattered for commerce, and when production mistakes could lead to treasures decades later. The provenance, or ownership history, of each 1930 D penny also plays a critical role in determining its market value. Coins that have been part of prestigious collections, documented through numismatic records, often fetch higher prices, because collectors and investors can trust their authenticity. And trust is everything when dealing with coins that can sell for millions of dollars. The market for high-end rare coins is global, and the 1930 D Wheat Penny is no exception. Collectors from Europe, Asia, and the United States compete fiercely for verified examples, driving prices ever higher and making this penny a true symbol of numismatic prestige. Auction results consistently reflect the coin's extraordinary value, with verified specimens often commanding seven-figure sums, sometimes surpassing $22 million in private sales, and these record-breaking transactions further fuel public interest, making the coin legendary in both numismatic circles and mainstream media. The excitement surrounding such coins is not merely about monetary value. It is about the thrill of discovery, the fascination with history, and the allure of owning a piece of American heritage. Imagine the scenario: finding a 1930 D penny tucked away in a drawer, in circulation change, or in an old coin collection. The realization that what appears to be an ordinary penny is in fact worth millions ignites a mix of disbelief, excitement, and amazement. This is part of why coin collecting is such a compelling hobby. The 1930 D penny exemplifies the perfect combination of rarity, error, historical context, and collector demand, all of which converge to create a coin of extraordinary value. Delving deeper into the technical aspects, collectors and experts meticulously examine the die characteristics, strike quality, and any anomalies that can differentiate a high-value specimen from a more common example. For the 1930 penny, factors such as the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the depth and clarity of the wheat ears on the reverse, and the overall condition of the coin, including luster and surface integrity, are critical. Even tiny imperfections, scratches, or discolorations can dramatically affect a coin's grade and therefore its market value. Grading is conducted by professional services, and certified coins receive a numerical grade that directly influences their worth. An MS-65 or higher 1930 penny can command prices exponentially higher than lower grade coins. The meticulous nature of this process ensures that buyers are paying for authenticity and quality, and it provides sellers with confidence that their coins are accurately valued. In addition to grading, the coin's story and rarity are amplified by historical anomalies, such as production shortages, misaligned dies, or leftover planchets from other years. Any unusual feature or error can instantly elevate a coin from a rare collector's item to a coveted multi-million-dollar treasure. And beyond the technical and historical aspects, the 1930 penny has become a symbol of hope and possibility, a reminder that even in difficult times, such as the Great Depression, unexpected fortune can appear, and that ordinary objects, often overlooked, can hold extraordinary value. This narrative resonates deeply with collectors and the general public alike, contributing to the coin's cultural significance and its ever-increasing market value. Furthermore, the global market for rare coins ensures that the 1930 penny remains a highly competitive asset. Investors recognize the coin not only for its numismatic appeal but also as a tangible alternative investment, offering a unique blend of historical significance, scarcity, and potential financial gain. And this combination makes the 1930 penny a highly desirable asset class, far beyond mere hobbyist interest. Examining the minting process itself, the Denver Mint in 1930 faced challenges such as limited resources, labor considerations, and technological constraints. And these conditions occasionally led to minor errors or variations in coin production, which today are celebrated as key factors that create rarity and value. Collectors study these details closely, often using magnification and advanced imaging techniques to identify the finest variations and anomalies. These subtle differences can mean the difference between a standard coin worth a few dollars and a near-priceless artifact valued in the tens of millions. And while the $22 million figure may seem staggering, it is justified by the intersection of rarity, error significance, historical context, market demand, grading, and provenance. Each verified 1930 penny is not only a physical object but also a repository of historical and numismatic knowledge, and every sale contributes to the ongoing story of American coin collecting. The 1930 wheat penny continues to captivate collectors because it represents a perfect storm of all these factors: scarcity, history, human error, condition, and collector desire converge to make it one of the most valuable coins ever produced in the United States, and the lessons it provides go beyond numismatics, highlighting the potential for overlooked objects to carry immense value, the importance of careful observation and research, and the unpredictable role of chance in creating extraordinary outcomes. For anyone passionate about coin collecting, the 1930 penny is both a challenge and a dream, an ultimate prize that demands knowledge, patience, and sometimes a bit of luck to acquire. The story of this coin also serves as a reminder of the meticulous craft of coin production, the vigilance of collectors, and the timeless allure of rarity and historical significance. And as you continue exploring the fascinating world of numismatics, it is worth remembering that each coin carries a story, and some, like the 1930 mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin, carry stories worth millions. Every die mark, every variation, and every subtle anomaly contributes to the unique identity of the coin, making it not just a piece of metal, but a treasure steeped in history, culture, and human endeavor. Next, 1945 no mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin, a coin that, despite its seemingly ordinary appearance, has captivated the attention of collectors worldwide and is now valued at an astounding $27 million due to its rare errors, historical significance, and scarcity. And this is not just a story about a simple penny, it is a story about human error, wartime circumstances, meticulous minting processes, and the unpredictable ways in which a small object can become a multi-million-dollar treasure. Starting with the historical backdrop, the year 1945 marked the end of World War II, a period of intense industrial and economic pressure for the United States. The nation was emerging from the shadows of war, and the mint had to produce enormous quantities of coinage to support everyday transactions, with copper being redirected to wartime production. The mint had to carefully manage resources while maintaining the standard of coin production, and in this process, mistakes and anomalies occasionally occurred, leading to the creation of coins that would later become legendary. The 1945 no-mint mark Wheat Penny, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not carry a mint mark, became one of the most valuable coins because of a combination of factors including minting errors, rarity, and the sheer historical context surrounding its production. One of the most intriguing aspects of this coin is the presence of planchet errors, in some cases, leftover planchets from previous years or misprepared metal blanks were used, leading to subtle differences in metal composition, thickness, or luster that makes certain specimens stand out to experienced collectors. Such anomalies make the coin immediately more valuable because they represent a deviation from the standard production process, and collectors are always drawn to these unique variations, in addition to planchet errors. Die errors also play a crucial role in the 1945 no-mint mark penny's high value. Die errors occur when the metal stamping dies used to strike coins develop imperfections such as doubling, misalignment, or cracks, and these errors are transferred directly onto the coin, resulting in distinctive features that are highly prized. For instance, a double die error on the date or lettering of a 1945 penny can instantly elevate its value. Because collectors prize coins that carry physical evidence of the minting process itself, and the rarity of such errors in conjunction with the historical context makes this coin extraordinarily desirable. The condition of the coin is another critical factor in its valuation. Grading plays a central role in determining the worth of any high-value coin, and certified coins are evaluated for factors such as strike sharpness, luster, surface integrity, and overall appearance. For the 1945 no-mint mark penny, a specimen with pristine details on Lincoln's profile, crisp wheat ears on the reverse, and flawless surfaces can reach astronomical prices, often millions of dollars, because buyers and collectors are willing to pay for perfection and rarity. Beyond errors and condition, the story of the 1945 penny is intertwined with the cultural and historical significance of its era. This coin represents a time of immense global upheaval, when every resource was precious, and the American economy was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime recovery. Owning a coin from this period is not just about financial value, it is about holding a tangible piece of history, a connection to a time when ordinary objects were suddenly imbued with extraordinary meaning, provenance, or the documented ownership history of the coin, also significantly influences its market value. Coins that have been verified as part of prestigious collections, or that have been auctioned in high-profile sales, often command higher prices, because buyers can be confident of authenticity and historical legitimacy. And when dealing with a coin as rare and valuable as the 1945 no-mint mark penny, authenticity and documentation are paramount. In addition to provenance, rarity remains the driving force behind the coin's extraordinary market value. Very few of these coins exist, verified and intact, which means that each specimen is a critical and irreplaceable part of American numismatic history. Scarcity combined with high demand among global collectors ensures that the price continues to rise, making the $27 million valuation a reflection not only of rarity and errors but also of the collector market's intense competition. Auction results consistently reinforce the coin's legendary status, with verified specimens selling for record-breaking sums and capturing the imagination of the public. Every sale adds another layer to the coin's story, creating a narrative of luck, discovery, and historical fascination that elevates the coin beyond mere currency. The excitement surrounding this coin is not merely about its monetary value, it is about the thrill of discovering a hidden treasure, the fascination with history, and the allure of owning a tangible connection to the past. Imagine finding a 1945 no-mint mark penny tucked away in an old coin collection, in circulation change, or stored in a family heirloom. The realization that this ordinary-looking penny is worth millions ignites disbelief, excitement, and a deep sense of wonder. And that is precisely why collectors and enthusiasts are drawn to such coins. They represent the perfect intersection of luck, historical significance, and human error. Delving into the technical aspects, experts meticulously examine every detail of the coin to identify anomalies that might elevate its value, from die cracks and doubled dies to subtle variations in the strike or planchet quality. For the 1945 penny, minute differences in Lincoln's profile, the wheat ears on the reverse, and the coin's overall luster can differentiate an ordinary specimen from a multi-million-dollar treasure. The study of these features has turned numismatics into a scientific and meticulous pursuit, requiring careful observation, research, and expertise. Grading, conducted by professional numismatic services, ensures that each coin's condition is accurately assessed, with higher-grade coins commanding exponentially higher prices. And for a 1945 no-mint mark penny, a pristine MS-65 or higher can mean the difference between a six-figure coin and a multi-million-dollar legend. Beyond grading, historical anomalies amplify the coin's value. Leftover planchets from other years, off-center strikes, or die misalignments are all examples of factors that create uniqueness. And when these anomalies are present on a coin from a historically significant year like 1945, they transform it into a collector's holy grail. The 1945 no-mint mark penny also carries symbolic significance, representing resilience, the end of a global conflict, and the enduring human fascination with luck and chance. Every coin tells a story, and this particular coin tells a story of scarcity, mistake, and fortune that resonates across generations. Collectors worldwide compete fiercely for verified examples, driving global demand and reinforcing the coin's status as a top-tier numismatic treasure. The market for rare coins has evolved into a global ecosystem, with serious investors recognizing the value of tangible, historical, and scarce assets like the 1945 penny, and this recognition helps to maintain its high valuation and ensures that interest in this coin remains strong. The Denver and Philadelphia mints faced technological and resource constraints during the war and immediate post-war years, and these factors contributed to minor inconsistencies and anomalies in coins produced at that time, which today are celebrated and highly sought after by collectors. Subtle variations in metal composition, die wear, and strike pressure can all influence the uniqueness of a coin, making certain 1945 no-mint mark pennies particularly valuable. The rarity, combined with exceptional condition and documented provenance, creates the perfect storm for a multi-million-dollar coin. And while $27 million might seem staggering for a single penny, it reflects the culmination of scarcity, historical importance, errors, condition, provenance, and intense collector demand. Every verified sale reinforces the coin's status, ensuring that it remains an object of fascination, desire, and investment. The 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny also serves as a lesson in the unpredictable nature of numismatics, where ordinary objects can gain extraordinary value through human error, historical circumstances, and collector interest. It is a coin that embodies the perfect combination of chance, history, and meticulous craft, reminding us that sometimes the smallest, most overlooked items can hold the greatest secrets and the highest value. And beyond financial considerations, the coin represents a tangible connection to history, a physical piece of the American experience during a pivotal year. Now, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and intertwined stories in American numismatics, a journey through the rarest, most valuable pennies ever produced, coins that could transform ordinary pockets into multi-million-dollar fortunes, beginning with the legendary 1944 mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin. A coin that has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide and is valued at an astonishing $25 million due to its unique errors, rarity, and historical significance. Struck During the final years of World War II, the 1944 D penny was produced under extraordinary conditions, with the United States Mint under immense pressure to supply coinage to a nation at war, and due to a remarkable series of human and mechanical errors, some coins were struck on leftover 1943 steel planchets instead of the proper copper ones, creating an anomaly that became one of the most sought-after mistakes in U.S. coin history. The Denver Mint, represented by the D Mint mark, contributed its own subtle variations in strike depth, alignment, and detail on Lincoln's profile and the wheat ears, and when combined with planchet anomalies, these coins became instant legends, with collectors obsessing over doubled dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks that turn an ordinary penny into a numismatic masterpiece. The market for such coins is fiercely competitive, with professional grading services certifying authenticity and condition, because a single scratch or imperfection can drastically affect value, and the 1944 D penny exemplifies how historical context, scarcity, and mechanical error converge to create extraordinary worth. Moving backward in time to the 1930 D Mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin, another marvel of rarity and numismatic intrigue, valued at $22 million, minted during the depths of the Great Depression. This coin represents a period of economic hardship, resource scarcity, and meticulous production challenges at the Denver Mint, where low mintage numbers combined with die errors, repunched mint marks, and planchet variations created a coin that is exceedingly rare and highly prized. Double die errors, misaligned dies, and off-center strikes on the 1930 D penny add to its uniqueness, and when paired with exceptional strike quality, strong luster, and flawless surface integrity, the value escalates exponentially. Collectors and investors worldwide recognize the coin not only for its scarcity but also as a tangible piece of American history, connecting them to a time of struggle, resilience, and the meticulous craft of the mint. Provenance plays a crucial role in the valuation, with coins documented in prestigious collections or auctioned through high-profile numismatic sales commanding higher prices, and with a global market competing for verified examples. The 1930 D penny continues to maintain its status as a seven-figure treasure. The excitement surrounding these coins is as much about the thrill of discovery as it is about monetary value. Envision finding a 1930 D penny hidden in a bankroll, a family collection, or tucked away for decades. The realization that it is worth millions sparks disbelief, awe, and an uncontainable sense of wonder, and this narrative of scarcity, historical context, and human error perfectly mirrors the story of the 1945 no mint mark 1 cent USA wheat coin. Valued at an incredible $27 million, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally carries no mint mark, during a pivotal year when World War II was drawing to a close, and the mint was balancing wartime production with peacetime transition. The 1945 penny exhibits fascinating planchet errors, off-center strikes, and die anomalies that make certain specimens unique and extraordinarily desirable. Collectors prize details such as the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the wheat ears, and the coin's luster, with professional grading determining whether a specimen reaches MS 65 or higher, which in turn affects the astronomical valuations it can achieve. This coin also carries profound historical significance, connecting its owner to a critical moment in American history, and offering a tangible link to the post-war era. Provenance is critical, as coins with documented histories or previous auction records are more desirable, and combined with the rarity of surviving, flawless examples. The 1945 penny remains one of the most legendary and highly sought-after coins in the world. When we examine these three coins together, a fascinating narrative emerges about human error, historical context, scarcity, and the unpredictable forces of value. The 1944 D penny demonstrates how wartime pressure and leftover planchets can produce an iconic error. The 1930 D penny shows how low mintage, economic hardship, and minting anomalies create a collector's holy grail. And the 1945 no mint mark penny illustrates the convergence of historical significance, condition, and rarity that propels a humble coin into multi-million-dollar status. All three coins are celebrated for their errors, including doubled dies, misaligned or repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, and subtle planchet variations that make each specimen unique. Professional grading, authentication, and provenance certification ensure that these coins are not only valuable but collectible. And they continue to capture the imagination of numismatists, historians, and investors around the globe. Auction results for these coins consistently break records, reinforcing their legendary status, and each sale adds to the ongoing narrative of chance, discovery, and historical fascination. These coins also exemplify how ordinary objects, often overlooked in everyday circulation, can unexpectedly become treasures of immense value. Collectors are motivated not just by monetary potential but by the thrill of owning a tangible piece of history, a coin that tells the story of its era, the conditions of its production, and the human errors that transformed it into a numismatic legend. And while $22 million, $25 million, or $27 million may seem staggering for coins that once circulated for mere pennies, these figures are justified by the perfect combination of rarity, historical importance, errors, condition, provenance, and the fierce global collector demand. Each verified example is a critical piece of American history, a symbol of resilience, ingenuity, and the intricate art of coin production. And when considered collectively, the 1944D, 1930D, and 1945 no-mint mark wheat pennies create a tapestry of historical intrigue and numismatic value that is unparalleled. They serve as reminders of how human error, scarcity, and historical context intersect to create treasures that continue to inspire, educate, and captivate. The narrative of these coins extends beyond the numismatic world, offering lessons about observation, patience, research, and the unpredictable nature of value. They embody the convergence of luck, historical circumstances, and meticulous craftsmanship, transforming ordinary pennies into extraordinary objects of desire. And each coin's story reinforces the fascination with the potential for the smallest and most overlooked items to carry immense value. Collectors around the world continue to seek these coins, study their unique features, and compete in auctions to acquire verified examples, ensuring that the legacy of the 1944D, 1930D, and 1945 no-mint mark wheat pennies remains vibrant and compelling. The coin's errors, rarity, condition, and historical significance make them the ultimate prizes for collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike. Each specimen is a testament to the unpredictable nature of human production, the pressures of historical circumstances, and the enduring allure of rare and valuable artifacts. And together, these three coins tell a story of American resilience, meticulous minting, and the extraordinary value that can emerge from mistakes, scarcity, and the passage of time. They are more than currency. They are artifacts of history, symbols of rarity, and benchmarks of numismatic achievement. And as collectors continue to uncover, authenticate, and compete for these coins, their legend grows, inspiring awe, study, and desire for generations to come, proving that even the humblest penny can contain an extraordinary story, immense value, and a tangible connection to the past. The 1944D, 1930D, and 1945 no-mint mark wheat pennies collectively represent the pinnacle of American coin collecting, a trifecta of rarity, historical intrigue, and extraordinary market value that continues to mesmerize collectors, investors, and historians alike, demonstrating that in the world of numismatics, human error, scarcity, and history combine to create treasures of unparalleled significance.